What's up, you guys? My name is Lieutenant Notzo Clutch, and welcome to like an update video. I haven't really done too much on this channel. I don't really know why I haven't done too much on this channel. I guess I've just been like really busy streaming and shit, and just like haven't really gotten around to it. So we're doing something a little different, and we're doing like Sly Cooper. No, I am not playing this on PlayStation 2. I actually downloaded an emulator. I'll get all the information for you guys if you guys want to download the emulator. It's actually really easy to set up, and I didn't really have a ton of trouble with it. So the only thing I'm having trouble with right now is like the camera angle on the controller. It's a little different, and I can't like invert it. It's kind of weird. Anyway, so here's the update. Last time I talked to you guys, I was in the process of quitting my job in order to go back to school, and I did go back to school. Went back to school. I earned my associate's degree in art at one of my local community colleges. By the way, for anybody who is in high school right now, and you're kind of looking at colleges, but you don't really know exactly what you're doing, what you want to do, I would strongly recommend going to a community college and getting all of your gen eds out of the way, right? Go and do your math, go and do your English, go and take history, science, like all of those very general classes that you had to take in high school. And do that at a local community college before you decide to go to a university or like a state college. And there's a couple of reasons why, right? First reason is it's going to save you money, which is like really important when you're going to college. And the other thing is that it kind of gives you time to figure out what you want to do with your life, right? When you get out of high school, you don't really know what you want to do, right? You're kind of confused because you're making these decisions where, wow, like what am I going to do until the day I die? And nobody gets out of high school and goes, oh, I know exactly what I want to do. It doesn't happen, right? So if you're nervous about it, don't be. You're going to be fine, but I do recommend going to, a local community college. It's going to save you money, and it's going to give you plenty of time to figure out what's important and what your passion is, right? And also, like, whatever you decide to do, make sure that you're passionate about it, right? A man once said, choose a job you love, and you'll never have to work a day in your life. You know who that man was? That man was Confucius. Who is Confucius? I don't fucking know. That dude is super old, and he was from, like, Asia, and he was, like, really wise, but, I don't know, go Google him. He's a pretty smart dude. And I live by those words, honestly. Film's always been, I think, something that I've really wanted to do kind of my whole life, honestly. So I did manage to get into Columbia College. And I start film in September, and I'm like really, really, really excited. I went to go visit Columbia a couple of weeks ago, and I went in there, and I'm not trying to be like one of those guys, but there was like a lot of girls there, and like there was a lot of lesbians. There really was. It was like there was like a ton of lesbians, which is fine. I'm totally okay with it. They all seemed like they were really, really nice people. It was just the school is very different. It's very, very liberal. I'm kind of not like used to that, but I think it's going to be really, really exciting. There was some people there that were kind of boring, and then there were some people that were like very, very extroverted and very outgoing, and those are really the kind of people that I need in my life when it comes to doing film, because you need people who are willing to go above and beyond and meet new people, and you have to have that in order to be creative, I think. So that's good. So I get to meet a lot of new people, and part of film is it's not really so much what you know. A lot of it is kind of who you know, and I think that kind of goes for just about any job outside of college, but especially the film industry. I mean, that was a really, really big one. Columbia in general is a phenomenal school for film when it comes to success rate. I've talked to a lot of people who said No, Columbia is like phenomenal, and you're gonna learn so much. And people who get out of Columbia are finding jobs left and right, and much more than some other colleges like Northern Illinois or for film, for the creative arts, right? Um, so yeah, I'm pretty excited. I really like the school so far, at least from what I've seen. But I'll keep you guys posted as far as like what I find and what we start learning, and we'll obviously start sharing it through YouTube and stuff like that. Hopefully. What else? Oh, my very last semester at Columbia, which will be spring of 2020. I actually get to go to LA, which is really, really cool. I get to go to LA. I get to work across from Paramount Pictures. They put you on a set, and they sort of run you through what it's like to work in LA, to work in Hollywood, to work on a set, direct people, work with editors, work with a camera, kind of like all of the chaos that goes in with with shooting film and stuff like that. So that's going to be really cool. I'm going to be down there for about 5 weeks, which is a really long time. You don't think 5 weeks is a long time, but you sit there and you go, 5 weeks. Wow. Like, that's a crazy amount of time, and it's going to be really expensive. I heard LA is like really, really expensive. More expensive than Chicago, I think. I'm not sure. I'd have to look that up, but we'll kind of see what happens. It's kind of neat to live your dreams, honestly. It really is. I'm really, really excited to be doing this. So, what else is going on? The new office is killing me. It's absolutely killing me. I'm trying to get my mother to move stuff out, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass, and I'm trying. I'm really trying to get this studio up and running. I have everything. I have everything that I need to get this studio up and running. And this studio is basically supposed to be a new streaming setup. It's my own office, right? It's my own office where it's going to be dedicated to streaming. It's going to be dedicated to making film, editing, doing YouTube stuff, doing a lot of creative content, stuff like that. I mean, it's going to be really, really good for me, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy the new studio. But getting it together is just really, really difficult. Like, it's crazy difficult. I thought it was going to be so much easier, but it's just such a pain in the ass. Anyway, we'll get it done. I promise. It's going to take us some time, but we'll get there eventually. We're playing Sly Cooper. As I was saying earlier, this is an emulator. I did not plug in my old PlayStation 2 and capture it. I don't even know how you would do that today. I think like a Dazzle. Maybe a Dazzle would actually help capturing, but then I was like, let's just like grab an emulator and let's see if an emulator will work. So I set that up. That was actually pretty easy. The controls, I think it's called PCSX2 or something. I don't know, something like that. I'll leave a link in the description. I'll get you guys all the information. It was really easy. All you had to do was basically download the emulator. You had to go onto a website that's called like EMU Paradise and grab the PlayStation 2 BIOS. And then once you grab the BIOS, you basically just throw that in there, go online and find yourself a game that you want to play. You just grab, so in this case, I grabbed Sly Cooper and just grabbed like an ISO image. And then you basically just dock it into the emulator, hit boot. There's like a few video settings you got to change around. One of them I think is like multi-core rendering like you would on OBS. But it really wasn't that difficult. It was almost easier to set up than OBS, which is kind of surprising because OBS kind of takes a little time because you're kind of messing around with bitrate and kind of like what you need to do. But these games are really, really small. You don't realize how small some of these old games are. They're really, really tiny, so you don't need a whole lot in order to run them, which is really, really nice. What else is going on? We played Captain Spirit, The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit on stream the other night. That was a lot of fun. I'm really, really excited for Life is Strange 2. I don't know what it is. Those games are just so good. So I think, like, the reason I wanted to play, kind of backtracking to Sly Cooper, I think the reason I really wanted to go back and play this game was because of Captain Spirit. It was sort of this, like, I wanted to feel like a kid again. And then also, Summit 1G, I think it was actually just yesterday, he wanted to play Metal Gear Solid, the HD collection, which is basically a package game that you can get for PlayStation 3, which has basically got Metal Gear Solid 2 Sons of Liberty, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and then I think it's like Peace Walker or something like that. I don't know, Peace Walker kind of sucked. And so you can, they're not like remastered, they're just sort of like reformatted for PlayStation 3. And so he wanted to play those on stream, but then he couldn't. And the reason that he really couldn't was because PlayStation 3 is impossible to game cap. It has this technology that's called like HDCP, which is sort of this technology that doesn't allow video pass through. It's really, really dumb. I don't know why Sony even like implemented it. I thought you could do it. You can't. It's really, really, really fucking dumb. But it's also one of the reasons why a lot of those guys on Machinima Respawn from the original YouTube series, all of those guys were using Xbox 360. And I was like, why are you guys using Xbox 360 to game capture games like Call of Duty and other games that had that were on multiple consoles? And the reason was because you can't game cap on PS3. You have to do it on 360 at the time. So it's kind of whatever. I mean, I just use the emulator. The emulator seemed to work. But this is actually my first time utilizing the emulator. I've tried other emulators, but this is the first time I've actually used a PS2 emulator. So we'll kind of fiddle around with this. Maybe we'll download some other games that are kind of classics that you guys might like. Also, what classic games would you guys like to see? Do you guys want to do some classic games for Storyline Sunday? I would love to do the Metal Gear Solid series for Storyline Sunday. I loved Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid was like one of my favorite games. I played that game non-stop when I was a kid, along with this game, as well as Crash Bandicoot. I played a lot of Tekken. I played a lot of Tomb Raider. Just some of those like old classics that were just so much fun. And Sly Cooper is kind of a game that, because I played this so much growing up, I loved it so much that I just wanted to do a game cap and just kind of like do a small little commentary with it. So hope the quality is not terrible, but you know, it's just a small video, so I'm not really worried about them. So yeah, do you guys want to see this for Storyline? Other games for Storyline? Do you guys want to see this for like daily streams? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe, all that shit. I love you guys. I'll catch you guys later. Hasta la bye bye. Mucho besos.